How tall are you? 3 feet tall? 4 feet? 5, 6? And what's meant by feet? Whose feet? Whose foot are we using? Not mine. Nobody asked to use mine. Did they ask to use yours? So most people's feet are different sizes. What about other units of measure?
Well, Miles, the height of a horse is measured in hands. Ranger is 16 hands tall.
So if your foot isn't equal to a foot, and her hand isn't equal to a hand, maybe an inchworm isn't really an inch. A pinch isn't really a pinch. Maybe a yard is more than a yard. And a meter nowhere near the size of a meter. A liter? Well, in short, could all the units of measurement we use to measure things be misunderstood? In the next few weeks, you and I will look at how a foot got to be a foot, how a yard got to be a yard. In other words, how did we all ever come to agree on the standard length of an inch, a foot, and a yard, and so forth? How did we arrive at the standards for each of these and a lot of other units of measure in the everyday world of work, school, and play? Hi, my name is Miles McLeader. My life is all about measuring things. Matter of fact, all of these things... Oops, phone. I gotta get that. I got it! I got it! I got it! I got it! Hey! Don't worry, it's for me. Miles McLeader. Oh, hi, Meter. No. Probably. I don't know. Hold on, I'll ask them. It's my brother, Meter McLeader. He's a tailor's apprentice, and he's working at a clothing store. Of course, he measures people all the time, so he wants to know if he can join us for our measuring series. You don't mind, do you? No. Oh, good. Meter, they said they'd love to have you. What's that? Meter says we should define what measurement is. Good idea, Meter. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Measurement. Let's see. Measurement is... Well, measurement is using a standard unit to find such things as the length of something, or perhaps the liquid capacity of something. Hello, Miles McLeader. Guess who? I know you want to know what standards are. Oh, just a lucky guess. Well, you know, Meter, I think we're going to have to go beyond definition for this one and way back into history. All the way back to the days of the caveman and the woolly mammoth. There we can search for the first attempts at establishing standards for measuring. You see, at some point, even cavemen had to develop a standard for measuring things.
Get your rope here.
Once upon a time, very long ago and very far away, a rope seller and a rope buyer were bickering over how the rope seller sold his rope.
It's 3 barley corns a foot. Take it or leave it. Get your rope here.
Okay, but we use my foot to measure.
What? Look, I do the selling. My foot does the measuring. That's the way it is. Good quality rope here. Get your good
If we use your foot to measure my rope, it'll cost me a bloody fortune.
Hey, read the sign, would you? Rope. 3 barley corns a foot. It's my sign. It's my rope. It's going to be my foot. Rope here. Get your good quality rope here. Rope.
Just then, a wise man happened along.
Gentlemen, perhaps I can be of assistance.
The seller, anxious to get done with this sale and on to other business, was at first rather surly to the wise man, saying,
Look, what up, buddy? And you? I'm about at the end of my rope with you. 3 barley corns a foot. Take it or leave it.
Well, since you obviously can't agree on whose foot to use, may I offer mine?
Well, both the buyer and the seller had to agree the foot before them was not very small, but it also was not very large.
Say, that's a perfect size foot.
It is very nice, and it smells good too.
You realize this is cutting into my profits.
And you realize how this is giving me less rope for the barley corn?
You have, perhaps, a better idea?
Oh, all right. I suppose if I don't agree, you won't buy my rope.
And if I don't agree, you won't sell me your rope.
And so, from then on, everyone in that far-off place used the wise man's foot as the standard. Everyone was very, very happy, with the possible exception of the wise man, who became worn to a frazzle lending his foot to everyone measuring anything.
So you see, at some point, way back when, we all got together and agreed on what the standard units of measure would be. And the type of measuring unit we use, well, that depends on what you're trying to measure. If I wanted to know how much water my water bucket holds, I'd use a standard of measurement having to do with capacity. If I want to know the length of a brick, I use linear measurement. Did you know there isn't a job or a profession that you can think of which doesn't use measurement? And that includes babysitter, mother, student, cook, plumber, doctor, lawyer, taxi driver, and teacher. We all use measurement each day of our lives. Let's work our way back in time once again and see how measurement has evolved over thousands of years. Once upon a time, thousands and thousands of years ago, a man named Noah set about building an ark to escape a flood that threatened to destroy the whole world. Noah wanted to save his family and 2 each of all the animals in the world. He wanted to make room in the ark for all of them. So we're talking about a big ark. Anyway, in those days, the cubit was used as a unit of measuring length. A cubit is the length of a man's forearm from here to here, the edge of his elbow to the tip of his middle finger. Noah built his ark using these. The ark was 300 cubits long, 50 cubits wide, and 30 cubits high. Wow, some boat, huh? By today's measurement, it would have been about 450 feet long, or the distance of 1.5 football fields. Imagine using nothing but your forearm to measure. Better Noah than me. How about you? Incidentally, the cubit is no longer used as a unit of measurement, but some of the customary units we use today originated in the same way by using parts of the body. Once ancient people began using arms and feet as measuring units, well, it was only natural for them to begin using other parts of the body as well. For instance, the fingers, the hands, or legs. Did you know that what today we call the inch was considered the width of a man's thumb? An inch was also the distance from the tip of the forefinger to the first joint. This is your forefinger, the one right next to your thumb. So from here to the first joint was an inch. The Babylonians are credited with the world's first weight standards. Instead of just comparing the weights of two objects, they compared the weight of each object with a set of stones. The Egyptians and Greeks used a wheat seed as the smallest unit of weight. The Arabs established a small weight standard for gold, silver, and other precious stones, which were traded. Back then, trading was called bartering. To measure these small, valuable quantities, the Arabs used a small bean called a carat. This was the origin of the word carat, which jewelers use today to express the weight of gems and precious metals. In the 13th century, King Edward I of England ordered a permanent measuring stick made of iron, and this was to serve as a master standard of the yard. It was to be used throughout the kingdom. This master yardstick was called the iron ulna, after the bone of the forearm. In the late 1700s, during Napoleon's time, the French government adopted a whole new system of measurement called the metric system. This system was based on what they called the meter. Oops, there's the phone again. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
It's for me. I'm coming. Don't pick it up. I'll get it.
Hello? Oh, hello, meter. Who said anything about you knowing Napoleon? No. The meters we're talking about are part of the metric system of measurement. That's right. And we're not talking... No, that's right. And meter, did you realize that the metric system is divided into units or multiples of 10? And incidentally, did you know that there's only 3 countries in the whole world that don't use the metric system? What are they? Oh, okay. The United States, Myanmar, which used to be called Burma, and Liberia. Wow, look at the time. I'm glad you and I found out what measurement standards are, where they came from, and hopefully gave you some tools to work through some problems you'll face in everyday life. Until the next time, when we again take the measure of who we are by establishing some important mathematical standards, this is Miles McLeader saying bye-bye till then.